10 jungle position if they want to. Please don't pick Mundo. Please don't pick Mundo. Please don't pick Mundo.
Let me just step in here really quickly and say, yeah, the point about the Xayah Rakan is really good, especially knowing that SBTC is a team that likes to play the Senna bot lane, play around the Senna funnel. So I do think Xayah Rakan is a pretty good answer to that, but it comes down to your mechanics check. And the Mundo that you asked not to see is locked in indeed.
Oh.
Yeah, they probably heard you. They probably heard you.
That's
doing this.
doomed. Okay, so I'm gonna explain my rationale, right? Mundo just doesn't provide enough for the team. He needs a lot of time to scale up, and you have a lot of initiators. But the problem with Ziggs is that even with the initiation, he only does so much. There's nothing he can really do to SBTC. If they start to draft for hard disengage
what's going on
and reset here, it knocks back Alliance entirely. You get something like the Yasuo, the wind wall, it blocks so much of the damage that you have available. I just don't see what Alliance are gonna try and go for here.
What is going on here with the beefy boys that Alliance is setting up? That's a lot of tanky frontline coming in, but you really need the DPS to follow this up. Exactly. I think it might just be the Xayah, but we'll have to see.
I don't see it going any other way.
Yeah.
The Dr. Moon, I don't know. You know, when Team Secret picked it yesterday, we were kind of like, what? It turns out it worked for them. But I don't think, I don't know if, like, okay, Akshan. Okay, they seem to be up to something here.
They are indeed. Okay, so let's wait until they lock this in.
If they do, I mean, we've seen this show before. I mean, we saw the Black Cleaver version of Akshan in the mid side.
It's that version, right? So he's gonna play Akshan mid into Yasuo. He's gonna play for a very aggressive early game together with Mundo jungle, and then they're gonna use Ziggs' ability to just perma-farm, push in the center bot lane, get prio. At least that's the game plan. But SBTC, they have a very solid comp if they can get onto your backline. Akshan and Ziggs, they're not gonna survive a Riven Yasuo combo. So the burden is on Alliance to get the early game going in their favor, because if they don't, they're just gonna get outscaled and their backline is gonna get popped.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know. I really want to find out what Alliance is up to with their draft. It looks really, really interesting indeed. And we are going to get right into it. SBTC Esports from the Vietnam region versus Alliance from the Singapore region. Gamernismo, I know you guys have been hyped for this, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen more so, because I know that you guys are probably going to give me some great reactions after this first game. Let's step into it. It is SBTC Esports versus Alliance. Casters, take it away.
Let's get into this one here, TJ. Two big dogs are in town. The first seed out of Vietnam taking on the first seed out of Singapore. They're here to play, and if you thought this drop would be standard, you're sorely wrong.
Yeah, welcome to the group of death, baby. Both these teams know how to draft. They go very aggressively toward desired team compositions right off the bat, and then have to make some adjustments because of what the other team's doing. It's like when you're playing tic-tac-toe and you keep cutting each other off, and then before too long, nobody wins. It's the movie War Games from, I think, 1995, somewhere in that range. SBTC go for this really strong start with Gragas, Renekton, and Alliance go, oh no, we need frontline tank value. They pull out Mundo, they pull out Garen to be that frontline tank value, and all of a sudden the draft that I thought was going to go straight over to SBTC is very interesting.
Yeah, and the big question mark for us was what AD carry would Alliance lock in? We were wondering, would it be the Tristana, would it be the Xayah? Could it even be the likes of an Ezreal, some champion with mobility versus the critical strike build? Are you looking for a power spike now, or looking for a power spike later on when this Mundo will become an absolute monster, as we've already seen in the group stages? So let's take a moment to, review what we have. We've got ourselves another Yasuo. We've got that bread and butter combo again. Where should we be looking at the focus?
Well, early game is SBTC's to lose, and they're going to try and win it through the presence of this Riven in the jungle, who's going to get a little bit further ahead than you expect a Riven to. He's just going to show up in the mid game in TF's hands and start being really scary. And they're going to have a genuinely terrifying mid-game team fight between the Yasuo, Renekton, and Gragas, with that Riven kind of providing the knockups, providing most of the damage in those team fights. And if they start snowballing, the game's over. But should we go a little longer than that, Alliance are going to be able to take a whole lot of that damage on the chin and just keep going. The Garen and Mundo frontline is really difficult for SBTC to get past. And if we go to mid-late game, then I'm kind of an Akshan believer. I kind of put my faith in Ozraveki on this character. I think he can be scary.
Well, it's getting scary in the bot lane here, isn't it? So far, double root lands there from the setup, but the first blood is found. Jelsona's first gang swings the hammer and brings him down with the axe and gets that kill. Now,
Ozraveki
SBTC answer back. Always fancy feet. Then actually secures it somehow, some way. Yasuo's gone. The power spike is starting here early, and TF is far too late to the fight.
I think he could have gotten Raven, but he doesn't execute on it. Wow, incredible early fight goes over to Alliance as you're talking about. SBTC going for a very aggressive early peak. And this is a little bit off tempo for them because they do have a ton of mid-game power. Once you have those ultimates online, once you have first item on the Riven, on the Renekton, they're much scarier. So I actually think it was a little bit of an error for them to force the fight down bottom early, but the reason they do it is because they want to get that Senna off to a good start. Kiral is an incredibly good AD carry player. Uh-oh.
Look at this beautiful top lane dive. The ultimate was getting channeled, but it gets cancelled and buffered. And it would have been a turret in the way anyway. Good position there from Yaniro. And TF reads the play beautifully. So 3v2 they fight. And the honey fruit is there if he does want to stick around, but opting for the full reset instead. So Alliance, as much as they can, be a nuisance come that mid to late game. Certainly aren't falling over here in the early.
Yeah, and it's because of that early fight down bottom. Because again, if you go late game, that Senna is terrifying.
Yeah.
And I am not convinced that Akshan trades evenly against it. Okay, Ozuraveki's just dead. Especially not now, as SBTC execute a really good gank in the mid lane. So all of the like late game hopes for Alliance kind of are pinned upon getting a decent ball rolling during the early and mid game whenever they spot an opportunity. This is a very hard game for them to win compositionally. Because of that, they need to find momentum, but they did get a little bit of it handed to them down bottom. That's going to be a pretty decently sized Ziggs in the mid game. And I look for them to make plays through that. I look for them to keep this pressure up during the early game.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the best champions to really drive their narrative home, to, you know, put you in that ability to contest objectives, to siege up turrets, to go even, to force those trades, which we've seen the very best do, to play to their own win condition and not feel reactive. Now,
Drake here.
They're going to group up here. As you said, that first Drake has been engaged 4 minutes into this one, and it was going the way of Alliance, but SBTC is saying thanks for the leash. We're going to go for the fight instead. The skirmish breaks out. Mega Inferno Bomb dropped onto 2 bruisers. They both survive somehow, but then Jelson comes in with the cleaver and answers back. Both junglers getting aggressive, both finding a killer piece, but the Yasuo gets traded for the Rakan.
TF has to back. Alliance can burn this. There's no jungler here for SBTC. Jelson can burn this.
Locked inside the base, and they're getting closer and closer by the minute. Explosive cast goes out nice and early, but you're never going to beat a smite. Hold your nerve and hold your finger, but they guarantee it. The flash burnt, but Aquino still falls on down all the same, and SBTC just too keen to fight.
Really, really well played by Alliance to recognize that they'd scared TF away. They'd done enough damage, he just had to back, and so they can burn down that dragon. And towards the end of it, Akino thinks he spots an opportunity. It goes a little bit awry. He dies. It doesn't actually matter because he still finds so much ground gained on the map that he scares people back. They have to reset over on Alliance because of the damage he does. And that means that the Rift Herald, traditionally the more favored early objective even, does go to SBTC. They still will have a gold advantage coming out of this play. Not only at the top of your screen, but a significant one in the pocket, as that Rift Herald is probably good for at least 1,000.
Certainly would be, and if they want to make sure that Renekton becomes an absolute powerhouse to play for, then it certainly could be a good time. The wind wall's down, and that means it's the freest ultimate you'll ever see coming out there from the action. TF, always right place, right time, but the timing, 5 seconds too short. There's the body slam in, looking to try and take down Jelson. He has no maximum dosage, so he is very squishy, and they do answer back with a beautiful shutdown.
There's this dual lane roaming down though with the Mega Inferno Bomb to cut the wave. Here come Alliance.
Quickness goes out. CWJ utilizing that movement speed, but doesn't hit the grand entrance. It doesn't matter. The charm is all they need. And eventually they find that kill. 4v1 they hunt, and Ozuraveki claims the revival to bring back Jelson.
Skibby, put on your seatbelt. We are gaming here. This is some wild Rift, because SBTC go off of that momentum. They're going to summon this Rift Herald in mid and try and burn through Jelson.
They certainly are. 4v1, they go into the mid lane, but then actually that bot lane engage comes straight back on through. The Herald is summoned, but the turret survives down to 58. You could blow your nose and it'll fall on down.
Alliance.
The turnaround route, it connects onto 2, but they've got no damage. The throughput is gone. The 2 main assassins with the range damage are zoned away afar. Out comes the Dawning Shadow, the turning of the Fate, the last breath, the knockup, the damage to connect. SSK in trouble, and Yanero will guarantee that they do find that kill. Now fighting in a 5v4, they'll get that turret. Without that to worry about, will they continue to fight the fight here? Zorovecki, it's the ultimate. Can go into the shadows, but it just won't matter.
What an early game. Alliance get credit for the first turret break down bottom during that entire mess because they rotate effectively enough to hold that turret for an extra beat in mid. They get the bonus gold from that. And that's actually very important because it keeps the gold relatively close. There's only about 1,000 gold separating these two teams. They do give over a kill just from over-aggression in the mid lane. They thought Zorovecki was going to be able to rotate up into the mid before the kills happened, and they were a little wrong about the timing there, but I love Alliance taking the fight to SBTC because, again, they have to. The key characters to watch right now are Kirol, who has been thriving off of these fights. He's gotten 3 assists and an uncounted number of souls, just being able to farm them off of auto-attacking enemy characters, which is going to make him extremely scary in this mid to late game.
It doesn't stop there, though. We are going straight back into the Game King action. As SSK says, I'm a Garen. What on earth are you doing? Don't you dare try and touch me in a 2v1, because I can just walk away. And now the tempo will be reset, because that second Drake, the all-important one, especially for these two teams that want to be explosive, want to get those kills as quickly as they can. Infernal up in 20.
And the other thing to watch here is Kirol's giving up a lot of minion gold. He's not farming. He's giving all that minion kill gold over to Arcana. So if you're looking at this support Gragas and going, man, why is he doing so much damage? It's because he's functionally the AD carry. The Sen is relying on the souls to get her farm. So she's going to be scaling almost exclusively off of the souls, and this Gragas is going to start hurting into the mid game. He's going to go full AP. Arcana is going to have some damage to bring to bear.
So is Raven. Chucks at the Mega Inferno Bomb, evaporates the mid wave, as they know that timing is ever so crucial now, playing around these side lanes, utilizing the vision to good effect. Now, Julie is locked in the bot lane here, trimming a wave, and the fight's going to break out here. 5v4 CWJ with a massive engage, knocking up 3, but there's no follow-up, TJ. The opportunity presents itself, the support goes in, but the rest of the team a little bit sleepy here. Comeuppance goes out, max channel, but Julie says it's my time to shine, jumps in with the last breath and guarantees that they will find that kill traded back. Raven gone, Flash is being burnt. Julie there a little bit longer, but 1v4 inside the enemy blue buff. The rest of the team said, you're too far away from us. We can't do much about this. And when members lost, a second Drake there, it's looking like Alliance that still want to force the agenda.
Yeah, both junglers still up. This is a 4v4 for the Drake.
Yeah, flirting with danger right now. Maximum charge is a big amount of attack damage there if he can so utilize it. There's the TP
in, 4v4
coming on through.
now.
Julie not too far away, and Raven soon to spawn as well. He's also
Alliance
picked up the enchantment rune. They all want to contest this one.
Give a TP,
but Jelson's not in range. Jelson can't contest. He can't go for the smite. The Mega Inferno goes out. The Mercy and Justice comes crashing on down. They get that kill. They answer back, and they remove Kirol.
This is insane! Maybe my favorite game of the tournament so far is we just had maybe a 3-minute team fight, and it's not done yet.
Okay, no! Cheeky little solo kill when he sees 5 members in the mid lane. He says, I'm not afraid. There's tier 1. That's my buddy. That's my protection. And gone is your Ziggs. And one by one, they're going in now. What on earth is happening here, TJ? The tornado doesn't even connect, but now it's a Yasuo in the midst of an absolute Raven party. He's taking them all down. He gets a double, and as Yanero says, get me in on the action, get me in on that scoreboard, and they wipe the floor here with Alliance.
Double res, though, because one of the last kills in that fight went over to Zorovecki, and that means we can contest for this Baron as SBTC try to just burn it down. Alliance have even members on the board thanks to the Akshan passive.
Can't go for this one. CWJ does not have that ultimate, but he did have a flash and the exhaust if the engage was on. Burns the blast cone, but has he been a little bit too greedy here? Not to be punished. That tier 1 in the mid lane. As we calm things down, will fall. As Alliance will claim something back.
Hold me, Skimmy! What do I do?
You're too far away, mate.
And Alliance have done some really good trading throughout this. And I think that's very important to put a spotlight on. They've actually played this incredibly well. But SBTC walk away from that entire exchange very happy indeed. They've grown their gold lead to 2,000, and most importantly, they're continuing to tick away on that win condition of Kirol. He's getting very beefy into this mid-late game.
Totally is, and that is the concern, right? Making sure that you got the damage to match the mitigation that is coming out as the response from these bruises, which will pack a fair bit of punch themselves. Don't forget them. They might look like the beefcakes, but they can certainly wrestle with the best if given half an opportunity to get in on the action and showcase that, look, tanking isn't as boring as it seems. You know what? You can be a carry. That's fun. But I can carry in just a slightly different fashion. Now, Yunero's working overtime here to get that turret, trying to equalize the state here. 3 turrets still in favor here for Alliance as he jumps in, slice and dice, being aggressive, rightly so, because the rest of the team are here to back him up. 3v2 they go. Mega and Photobomb trimming away, but not much more. It's not really hitting them that hard.
He just stone-plated all of that, Skimmy.
He just walks
pops
away.
the guard on his stone plate and just eats all that damage.
Just laughs at it. And now Alliance are looking to try and scurry to the hills and say, well, we need to find some form of response. And they won't find it in the mid lane as Julie. He's just too nimble.
Julie, he's already completed Blade of the Rune King. This is a terrifying Yasuo, actually. And you might look at his scoreline, goes 3-5-4. That's not massive, but he's got so much gold. Good lord.
The flash all in. He's looking to try and make that play right there. The wind wall goes out nice and early. He's still hunting for blood. No vision, but he doesn't seem to be deterred. He's a madman. He's possessed. He doesn't care. But they will calm down.
And
the ghosts go out.
One of those players, runner-up in the Summer Super Cup, one of the best mid laners in the world, and he's such a duelist. If you ever give Julie a 1v2, a 1v1 that he thinks he can win, he is going to full send it. He is going to take that fight. And that's what you're seeing already here as Ozurveki now looks on. This turret's under threat.
Got the most gold in the game, but it's a beautiful two-man knockup. They just sidestep the Mega Inferno Bomb once again. Alliance defending that turret with their life. They're losing so much health. Oh, CWJ's just gone. It looked like a one-shot, but it was a delayed one at just that. Now Jelson 1v2 in the backline here for SBTC, zoning him away, which means the Bruiser boys of the Renekton and the Riven have to try and dive the Akshard, and somehow he survived. Jelson is a monster. He 1v2s. This is what Mundo does. And they're just going to lose everyone in this dive.
My God, that's the Baron to Alliance. As two things turn the difference. One, you cannot kill Jelson. Two, Ozurveki outplays that entire team fight and gets the resurrections. He dies at the end, but he's brought 4 players back. They're here to take the Baron, and Alliance are leading in this game versus SBTC, who are the best team out of the Vietnamese region, who were the runners-up at the Summer Super Cup. Many people consider them one of, if not the best team in the world, and Alliance, the super team out of Singapore, are fighting them blow for blow in this mid-game.
I mean, just look
Here we go for the dragon.
It's just so unreal for me.
No, we need to watch this
But we don't
play.
even care about
That's
the replay
dragon.
anymore. Yeah, as you say, play by play, and picture in picture is where we're at, because they've got a Baron, and they won that team fight. They've already removed the Yasuo. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far. Big mid carry against the support. Demacian Justice crashing on down again with Rampage as SSK unstoppable. Double summoners on your head, spin to win and burn you down. You're silenced and you're upset because this game is getting out of control and it's getting out of your grasp. But SBTC, despite everything here, TJ, they've still got a gold lead.
Kirol tanks that, and it's huge. Ozurveki doesn't get any reses. And SBTC, you're absolutely right to point it out, still have a gold lead despite these very hairy team fights. And Ozurveki, he's scaling into his damage spike, but he's not there. And what's about to come online is Kirol. I've been saying it all game. He's about to complete his second item. This is going to be a Black Cleaver, and that's going to mean that he's shredding what Mundo has, what Garen has, this massive armor. And the second those two, those 3 Black Cleavers, actually, good lord, are online for SBTC, it's going to get so hard for Alliance to tank through these team fights as they have been doing so. Now, though, here's the Drake burned down.
Oh, third Drake of the game, secured here by TF, but it could have been close. CWJ has been impressing me so far with his Rakan gameplay. The fight is split. Raven across the wall, dishing at the poke and the harass, but it's not enough. The burst, the engage, the pressure, and the sure right imposing threat that SBTC are displaying on this map. You've got bruises, you're tanky, but we're cleaving you down. And it's TF that's on a killing spree after taking 3.
And Alliance, they don't read the scoreboard. They don't realize that SBTC can absolutely take team fights versus their beefcakes right now. And their very tanky frontline steps into that fight in an awkward position because they think they have enough HP to contest, and SBTC blow them up.
The flash body slam, the Zonius is there, but we're queuing up spells. Oh, okay. Well, Gragas gets denied underneath the turret, but I'm sure he won't mind. It's a delayed ace, and an ace that will net them at least one inhibitor.
5 on res. 5 seconds on these resurrections. That's going to mean that SBTC cannot end the game here, but they have just blown it wide open. That team fight around the Drake handed them the gold lead, and it hands major item completions across the board. You see Infinity Edge completed here for Julie, meaning that this Yasuo is now at his power spike. You see the Black Cleaver starting on a Sheen item, probably the Iceborne Gauntlet over here for Kiral. He's now going to absolutely burn through these team fights as a supportive damage dealer with the souls yielding the vast majority of the damage. And what you see here is the power of an AP Gragas, just splitting up this fight and buying space for these assassins. Julie to run through the team fight and threaten the backline. And I guess this Renekton's an assassin as well. I disagree with it, you know, theoretically, but Yunaro's playing it as such, so who am I to judge?
Yeah, I mean, Renekton is one of those champions that certainly in a state like this could be classed as one. It's not a Z, it's maybe not as elegant, but certainly is looking oh so good. Max level 15 with the GA and every item complete bar one. Sitting on a longsword to round out this game in such explosive fashion and say, this is the game you should be tuning in for. The group stage is here, and this is what the group def really does look like.
I just want to chant death again, because Group B has delivered us 2 incredibly close series so far. SBTC have all but won this game. This is their game to lose just because of character scaling. Even though they only have a 1,000 gold lead, they have Yasuo, they have Senna, who are going to hurt so much in these late game team fights. We didn't see that CF. So all that matters right now is Alliance, can you wield Ozraveki successfully? He's kind of their only path back into this game.
That's a lot of pressure onto Jelson, forcing out his maximum dosage. The ultimate doesn't get used. The disrespect there from the Mundo burns the flash, and they may have just lost the game as a result of this one. That's here, TJ. Kirill has claimed the double. He's unstoppable. The explosive cask is absolutely insane. The displacement that SBTC are showing, the conviction to go for any target, no matter who you are, nets them the win in game number 1.
And what better